You spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees on your service provider, and it is your duty that you need to get the value for money from them. The management has entrusted all of you with this responsibility. You are in that respective positions. Most of you are in very senior positions. From the scope of work, your service level agreements come. And from service level agreements, your key performance indicators come. So your scope has to be properly defined in the contract document. And for proper scope of work, you need to have a good, accurate asset register. Now, what you need to know is, do you really want to add every switch and socket into the asset register? I am not telling yes or no, because there is no answer is correct, no answer is wrong. It's an individual opinion about it, and it's a management's philosophy under the company under which you are working. Some companies might say that, I don't bother about the switch and the sockets. That's a very negligible cost out of the total operations if you see. So if you have a properly defined, well-defined asset register, you can easily take out which are all the items or equipment that need compliance requirements and keep them separately and track them separately. Without a good asset register, you are lost. Whenever you have to raise a dispute with any service provider, if you feel that a service provider has not done a job or anything, you have to first be sure of yourself that it is covered in your scope of work. Because unless you read your scope of work, you will never know what is supposed to be done by the service provider. And not every escalation which goes to the senior management is a sane and a justified escalation. There are a lot of egos involved. We know, all of us know, we are dealing with humans. So the people will, out of their ego, they will raise escalation, and the senior management every time is not kind enough to listen to us and, both sides of the story and then give a verdict or whatever. They will simply say, no, you are not doing your job correctly. When you say, deploy manpower there, then you lose control over the quality of the work. Because the service provider will get the most dumb 6 people there, and he will say, these are the 6 people. You said 6 people, these are the 6 people, pay me my charges for that. That's it. So if he puts a machine and that is able to do the job of 6 people, you are okay with that. You should be okay with that. And that is the difference between output specific and resource specific. Output specific is working to the advantage of the client, and resource specific works to the advantage of the service provider. Whenever you draft a scope of work, run it through the decision makers to say that I have made this scope of work, this is costing this much. They may not understand, but you are insured, you are safe. Tomorrow they will not question you, why did you not tell me that you are putting this scope of work? So it's always your safety you have to bother about, right? Because it's ultimately, otherwise you will be in trouble. The O&M manual by the manufacturer will tell you what all actually has to be done, and he is the say, that is the ultimate truth. You can't dispute an O&M for the maintenance requirements. He decides what is to be done for his equipment. And the optimum balance between too much and too less. This is the one ultimate guru mantra of everything. That don't do too much of maintenance and don't do too less of a maintenance. If you do too less, you are in trouble. If you do too much also, you are in trouble. So do the optimum maintenance for every equipment. It's something like giving a tonic for a 80-year or 90-year-old person. He will not become young, right? He will be old. You can keep him a healthy old person. See, we can excel for others' purpose and we can excel for ourselves, because we have our own individual entity, right? We have our own careers. So why not to do something better which we can do, and which will help us in the long run, right? Because apart from being to the company right now where you are working, you have your loyalty to yourself, and it is your duty to see that you excel with every day. And you should not be compromising on that part, because it's an investment in yourself. If you invest in yourself, that is the best investment anytime, anywhere.